Okay, hello everyone. I will present you work under development called an overlay architecture based on in-memory content delivery for funcX in the H4 cloud. First, the motivation of these works are first the volume of data is increasing in an exponential manner. As we know, the data is increasing year by year in an exponential, and this data has to be handled to be processed through different endpoints that are distributed through the H4 cloud, where the cloud is the core of the data where it is stored and is processed. And the edge are the main producers of this data. So to handle these problems of large volume of data and distributed of data in through heterogeneous environments, we design an overlay architecture that is divided in 3 layers. First, the function layer that is based on the funcX and is designed to develop workflows in the forms of functions, and that could be deployed through different endpoints. So the endpoints are managed in the endpoint layer, where are the infrastructure to deploy data, to deploy and process the data. And finally, the data layer that is based on a scheme based on data containers that creates a content delivery network using in-memory storage. So the components of this layer, in particular, first we have the edge client that implement a stack of services to manage the acquisition of data from different data sources, including sensors and medical instruments, or such as tomography, spirometers, and X-ray. The first service in the stack is an access control, and then we have a function launcher that this is based in the funcX Python SDK. This launcher receives a Python script where designers define their functions as well as an execution order of the functions. And then we have a data manager client that is in charge to take the input data and distribute and deliver this data to the endpoints where the functions are deployed. Then we have the function layer that is based on a fast mechanism. In this layer, the users create and consume a set of functions to process their data. This layer includes funcX to perform the registration and management of the functions. And a function manager is in charge to execute the functions in the order defined by the developers. Next is the endpoint layer, where is the infrastructure, and this is each of these endpoint is deployed as an funcX endpoint. And in this layer is where the functions are deployed, the data start to be processed. And finally, the data layer, which is based on abstractions called data containers, and are organized in the form of a pool of data containers. These software structures are portable, so the data containers could be moved through different endpoints in the H4 cloud, and implements a hierarchical storage management based on 3 levels. The first level use the local memory for the main memory of the endpoints, that is, and stores the data based on caching policies. And the second level is the file system of the data container, or in the that is attached to a volume in the host, and is used to preserve the data for long periods. And finally, the data is sent to a cloud storage location by using a content delivery network. And this third level is used when the data has to be moved through different endpoints deployed on different environments in any of the edge or the fog on the cloud. So the main memory to store the data always will be the local memory, and as this memory starts to be used, the data will be moved through the 3 levels according to a caching policy. And now we have a programming model to declare the functions, the endpoints, and to create a map between the endpoint and the functions. And this is the input that our architecture received. And this basic configuration file is transformed into a funcX code to create the functions and deploy it on the endpoints declared in these files. So a map between the stages and the endpoint is created, and for each stage, each map declared, a data container will be created in the endpoint where the function will be deployed. So to evaluate this, we are conducting a use case based on the management of electrocardiogram data in the HFO cloud. To this end, we deploy 2 data containers to collect data from the sensors, and we create functions to process the data in the fog by using a detector of peaks, and the peaks detected are sent to the cloud for storage and through a visualization function, and then users could visualize the results of the processing of data and the complete life cycle of this of the data through the workflow. So we are evaluating this use case, and we hope that to have good results in the future. So this is all for me. If you have any questions, please ask me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Including from folks on Zoom.
I have a general question, Dante. So the idea is that you basically use a CDN to distribute data between functions that are running in different environments. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. The idea is to have the different endpoints on different environments. I have this CDN to move the data, and this CDN implements data containers that manage the data in an efficient manner.
And so the objects then are immutable. Can you write to them, like an output of one function can write to this CDN layer, and that's then picked up by other functions?
Yeah. That's to enable the layer to write and read from the CDN, and actually we have functions to perform these operations.
Seems definitely useful. Yeah, I guess I was kind of wondering if this would be kind of how generalizable this was, or how if you could make this into a system that could be used for other applications.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?